As a curriculum developer, one of the most important relationships I had at VMware was with the product support engineers themselves, who their job function was primarily a subject matter expert role. So we would rely very heavily on folks like Bruce, who were they really had sort of two important aspects as far as my interaction with them. First off, they were absolute experts in the products that they knew. So Bruce knew Lab Manager, other folks would know VMware Server, some folks would know ESX or vSphere. And so each one of those folks was an expert on their particular product or product area within VMware. So we could rely on them for in-depth technical knowledge on that particular product or product area. Now, that's not to say they didn't know many things about the other products, but each person had a specific area that they were very well familiarized with. So I could rely on these people for in-depth technical information, historical information about past versions of the product, information about how the product interacted with other technologies or other VMware products. And the other thing is that each and every one of the members of the product support engineering team were also very well versed in all the surrounding technologies. So whether we're talking about networking or storage or virtualization, Windows operating system, Linux operating systems, these folks were absolute experts in all of these different aspects of technology. I don't really know what I would have done without the product support engineer team. Their function was really absolutely invaluable. And really the main thing was, as a curriculum developer, I relied on having accurate technical information at the tip of my fingers. And that was sometimes easier than others. When I was trying to develop courseware and I needed an answer to a question, of course I would do my homework. I would look in the documentation, I would look in the specs, but if I couldn't find that information readily, or if I found contradictory information, I needed somewhere to go. Without the product support engineers, I would have had to go to the developers. And that's oftentimes in software organizations, that's frowned upon because A, developers tend to give overly in-depth information, more information than I actually needed. And people like to spare the developers time because a software developer is paid to develop software, not answer thousands of questions. So oftentimes there would be a bit of a boundary created between different groups. Well, the product support engineering team provided a liaison between those two groups, and they were always readily available to answer my questions. So rather than having to find the correct engineering resource and research 1,000 bits of documentation and reconcile disparate information, I would just go directly to the product support engineer who would invariably know the answer. They would be accurate, concise, and clear about that answer and point me to any documentation as necessary.